All right, welcome back to The Horror with Mike
and Nate.
On this episode, we are going to be doing a special review of the new werewolf movie, Late Phases.
Late Phases stars Nick D'Amici, who was
he's great. He works with Jim Minkle a lot. He also writes their movies.
And he didn't write this one, but yeah, as an actor, he was really good in Stake Land, and I like him in general. And he plays a blind retiree veteran who is being shipped off by his ungrateful son to live in this basically a retirement community.
Pretty nice retirement community, though.
Yeah, really big houses, but they've got this werewolf problem.
Problem.
The first few minutes of the movie, the werewolf shows up, and there's a huge werewolf battle. People die. Our hero, Ambrose, lives and knows that now he has 30 days to prepare before the werewolf comes back to him. And what I loved the most about this movie, it surprised me. It started off with everything. The monster in a monster movie never comes up before like 2/3 of the way.
Right.
They throw it out there immediately and then take it away. The bulk of the movie in the middle focuses more on the drama, his investigation, building the suspense that way.
Right.
And then at the end, then you get crazy werewolf action again. Recently, we have reviewed the movie Maggie, which was trying to do like an indie character drama in the dressing of a horror movie.
Right.
Late Phases, I felt, took a lot of what I like about, character studies and put it in the middle of a cliche, but pretty damn good werewolf movie.
Dude, this movie was fucking fantastic.
I
what
a find.
This movie.
Yeah,
I know, right? It's like, how did we do werewolves like last week?
Yeah.
And then this would have made it on the top 5.
This would have made it on my top 5 werewolf list.
Yeah, because this was awesome. Like, one of the first things is you were like, it's pedigree, look it up. Robert Kurtzman from the K in K&B did the werewolf makeup, which is really fucking cool.
And the transformation effects are great.
Oh, God, that was a really good transformation scene. Tom Noonan was in it. I didn't know that. Ethan Embry was in it. I didn't know that. I knew Nick D'Amici, right? But I wasn't such a fan. I'm a big fan of him now. He did a really fucking good job in this
really
movie.
did.
What was weird is I looked and I saw the director was the guy who did Here Comes the Devil. And my initial reaction was excitement. I was like, "Oh fuck yeah!"
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't think because I thought I didn't like Here Comes the Devil.
This was so vastly different from Here Comes the Devil.
Yeah, but I kind of knew that it would be. So I was like, I do like this guy. I just Here Comes the Devil took me off guard, but I do like that guy.
Adrian Garcia Bagliano is the guy's name.
Right, I would have murdered that one. But this guy was so funny. Like, the comedy I really liked. The fact that the werewolf shows up and just fucks shit up from the very beginning. Like, guts ripped. Oh, it's fucking awesome.
And it's smart because...
It was really smart, I thought.
We've all seen a werewolf movie before. This doesn't give us, like, a revolutionary, different-looking werewolf. It's pretty standard. It's just really well done. It throws it out there initially, and you get so hooked that, like Ambrose... You're waiting on pins and needles for the rest of the movie for it to come back.
Yeah, and there's all the details. Because, again, I like details. All the details in this movie were so awesome. Because it's like, he is blind, so then what the director does in these scenes and stuff is, like, if a werewolf attacks, like, in the first 10 minutes where it comes after him, is the camera can shoot around and not actually see the werewolf because he can't see. So you're just having to hear... And, like, bullets hit the ground here and a gun hits the ground. So he's trying to get to... All that was really fucking cool. The fact that they actually bothered to do... It's not a werewolf movie somebody pointed out where there's a full moon every 3 days.
Right.
Like, there's 10 minutes in, there's a full moon. Then he waits. And it's so badass. He's like... Because he's a veteran. He's like... All right, motherfucker. And he starts figuring shit out.
Zen and the art of chivalry. He carries that shovel everywhere.
Badass. And then, like, I love that character. What I also liked is it didn't go into some of the old cliches. Like, he doesn't tell anybody or try and convince anybody that there are werewolves around. He just goes into his house, goes around town trying to figure out who the person is, goes into his house, starts, like, doing all... And one of the coolest lines where I'm like Joe Swanson. There was a lot of me, Joe Swanson, like, bring on the pain! Like, watching this. Because he's so not a cool character. that he is so cool because he's a blind old man.
Right.
That makes him so much more badass. But he goes up to the one guy. He's like, "Can you make me?" Dana Ashbrook. He goes up to Dana Ashbrook and he's like, "Can you make me silver bullets?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." He's like, "What about silver shotgun shells?" I was like, "Fuck yeah! Why have we never seen this in a horror?" And silver shotgun shells do get used, and it makes you say, "Oh shit! Oh fuck!" The end.
The climax is like all great horror movies should. Creative. It should be great to begin with, and then kick it up a notch at the end, and it does.
Yeah, the reveal of who the werewolf is comes completely unexpected, and I loved how they just like cut right into that. I love the lead up to the third act. Mm-hmm. That was one of the coolest things I've seen in a werewolf movie ever. It was a great twist. Ever.
Yeah. A great plot development, not a twist.
The look of them, they kind of look like Gizmo had sex with a gremlin and Sasquatch or something. Like, the look kind of looks silly and still, but the way they move and it's really and the sound they make is really fucking creepy. But one of my favorite things about it was they set up the whole movie that he's blind, so he's really good at hearing, and he can hear shit from here, there, and there are really good lines in this movie too. But they set up all this time that he can hear really, really well. And third act starts, and he's putting on his old dress blues and stuff. Mm-hmm. And the motherfucker, because it's a retirement community, so funny. He goes and gets a hearing aid and puts a hearing aid on. So now this guy has like extreme
now he's
super
Daredevil.
hearing. And it was just so cool. And then he's just rifling shit. And he loses like a lot of the battle. You know, it was like he doesn't just shoot and like win. Like, motherfuckers, like, come after him and, like, knock him in the face and bloody and, like, blow his toes off. And it's
a great climax,
great. Yeah. And Tom Noonan. So I really liked this movie a lot.
And also, great as the ending is, though, like, a lot of the movie, the meat of the movie, I got to give credit to the drama. Like, the scenes between Demichi and Tom Noonan, who are both great character really actors. They have this amazing chemistry, the friendship they build up through the movie actually helps build suspense. Their on-screen chemistry really helps.
Did you recognize his second, Tom Noonan's second in command, like the clergyman guy? He's from Last Starfighter. That's the lead character from Last Starfighter. Wow. He just like got old and fat.
Yeah,
or whatever. But that was cool to see him in something again. And then one last shout out to the whole Ethan Embry relationship with him. Is that what is actually kind of nice, poignant, not overly stated? Like, there's a big secret between the two of them that never is actually revealed, because that's not important what the detail of the secret is. It's the secret, just what it... They
needed to confront each other about it, and wisely, they didn't feel like they needed to explain it to the audience. Yeah, they just let it...
And one of the things, because I watched this right after Maggie, was it fixed the problem that I had with Maggie, which... Abigail Breslin didn't have his accent, which is fine, whatever. But this movie had an awesome way of how you do explain that kind of stuff. Where Nick DiManchi, plus this movie had great accents. He's very Italian. Mm-hmm. Where he's like, "What's wrong with him? He's in an iron lung." That fucking asshole. Yeah. Like, he's just such a dick to everybody. But he has an Italian accent, but Ethan Embry doesn't. And so it's kind of like, oh, take it or leave it, whatever. But the movie's so smart because when Ethan Embry, towards the end, loses his patience with him finally and starts yelling at him, he speaks with an Italian accent.
Yeah, it's a nice little touch.
Yeah, so he takes that accent away any other time, which is awesome.
What is, in the final analysis, how do you rate this movie on a scale of 1 to 10? Late phases.
On the scale of werewolf movies, it rates very high on fucking werewolf movies. I did like it a lot.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend it. But I just I was so happy to watch this movie. So I'll give it an 8 because you should watch it.
Total agree. I would easily give it an 8. Mm-hmm. This was, as you say,
I'm scared to hype it up too much because I'm just.
It's a great werewolf movie, really but it's just a good movie. So check out Late Phases, which is now streaming on Netflix.
It is on Netflix. Yeah, it is on Netflix. Very good. Highly recommended. Check that one out.
that will do it for this mini review episode. Major love for Late Phases. So you should check it out and then send us some feedback about what you thought about the movie. You can find us on Facebook and on Twitter at FrightFlix with a CKS, or send something to me personally at NateFlix with an X.
Right on. All right, well, that'll finish us up this week on The Horror. See you next time, guys.